In September 2012, an Illinois judge handed down a life sentence to 73-year-old Jack McCullough for the 1957 kidnapping and murder of Maria Ridulph. The conviction made national headlines. Maria had vanished while playing in her neighborhood in 1957. Solving a murder 55 years after the fact provided a wave of relief to a community that spent half a century waiting for answers. But that relief was built on a flaw. To put McCullough behind bars, the prosecution had to sidestep the basic laws of physics. They discarded a precise, documented piece of geographic evidence, a logistical anchor that had mathematically ruled him out as a suspect during the initial investigation. The intense desire to finally close the books on a local tragedy overrode the facts. The resulting trial created a fabricated timeline that locked away a man who had no connection to the crime. Maria Ridulph disappeared on the evening of December 3, 1957. She had been playing outside with a friend, and the winter weather had already severely compromised travel conditions across the region. Within days, the FBI interviewed an 18-year-old neighbor named John Tessier, who later changed his name to Jack McCullough. After checking his whereabouts, investigators cleared him from their suspect list. Tessier's alibi was anchored in data. An Illinois Bell switchboard operator officially logged a collect call from Tessier to his parents at exactly 6:57 p.m. that evening. This map visualizes the geographic constraint. The collect call originated from Rockford, 40 miles northwest of the abduction site in Sycamore. Factoring in the time Maria was last seen, there was no way to cover that distance by 6:57. The math was absolute. The case sat dormant until 2008, when it was reopened following a report about a 1994 deathbed statement by Tessier's mother. While heavily medicated with morphine, the disoriented woman allegedly muttered, "John did it." Armed with this rumor, a new team of state police investigators fell into a trap of confirmation bias. Instead of following the physical evidence to a suspect, they worked backward from the mother's claim, trying to force the logistics to fit Tessier. They found an unused military train ticket from Tessier's trip to Chicago earlier that day. Rather than viewing this as a simple change of travel plans, investigators decided it was proof he had driven his car instead, theorizing this gave him the mobility to commit the crime. To make the geography work, they had to shrink the window of opportunity. This animated graphic shows the manipulated timeline. They shaved minutes off the witness accounts, pushing the estimated time of Maria's abduction earlier to around 6:20 p.m. They bolstered this compressed timeline with subjective testimony. They had Maria's childhood friend pick Tessier out of a photo lineup half a century after the event, and they brought in jailhouse informants who claimed Tessier had confessed to them behind bars. The prosecution presented this manufactured sequence of events to a jury in 2012. The emotional weight of the grieving family and a neatly packaged narrative won out over cold spatial logistics. McCullough sat in prison until 2015, when a new DeKalb County State's Attorney, Richard Schmack, conducted a comprehensive post-conviction review. He reconstructed the timeline using only the original, unalterable police and utility records. Phone company logs pinpointed the exact origin of that 6:57 p.m. call to a specific location, a coin-operated payphone inside the downtown Rockford post office. This diagram plots the exact downtown Rockford payphone location to recalculate the math. When you cross-reference that specific anchor point with the icy, unplowed road conditions of December 1957, the required driving speeds skyrocket. No vehicle could have made that trip. The moment the state's subjective theories were tested against an unmoving physical data point, the 2008 timeline entirely collapsed. Faced with undeniable proof, the court vacated McCullough's conviction in April 2016. The following year, a judge officially declared him innocent of the crime. The fallout from the prosecution's tunnel vision was a double injustice. The actual person who abducted Maria Ridulph was never held accountable, and an innocent man lost his twilight years to a maximum security prison cell. The case exposed a deep vulnerability in the investigative process. When people are desperate for closure, human memory becomes malleable. Witnesses and investigators alike unconsciously bent their recollections to support the story they wanted to be true. Relying on decades-old memories, medicated deathbed rumors, and the emotional satisfaction of solving a local tragedy creates a volatile foundation for a conviction. A functional legal system cannot be guided by human feeling. To actually protect the innocent, The process must remain strictly anchored in the unyielding mathematics of objective physical evidence.